Helldivers 2 just had some server changes. We also have some updates from the developers on the ongoing server situation. We have some crazy new player peak numbers. Also some good and useful tips on how to take on different enemy types, and also some potential Easter eggs that might be hidden within the game. We got a lot to talk about. What's up, world? Should be back in the video checking out all things Helldivers 2. Okay, so as everybody knows, this game is picking up like crazy on this weekend with some insane Steam numbers, which has led to some different server situations and some further improved stability there, with also a server cap. So we'll go over that now with a message from the Arrowhead devs, who go on here to say that earlier tonight we had a server related issue with a concurrent player spike. This led to some mission players payout failing. So if you've had any issues there with the payout failing after the mission, just know that hopefully that should be better now. Some players maybe be getting kicked out to their ships or even getting logged out. I have experienced one game crash, only one game crash so far, and I've experienced about one lag out during a loading screen. So the server situation definitely is still rocky, although they just didn't realize the kind of passion and player numbers that they would be receiving for this game. Now they also went on here to say that their team is working around the clock to solve these issues while they've been working to mitigate some of the causes, but they're still struggling to keep up with the scale that is needed to accommodate all of the Helldivers, which was onto the big point here that said that therefore they will have to cap the concurrent player count to 450,000, which will further improve the server stability. They're going to do that while they work with their partners to get that ceiling raised. And they also said that if you have any progression related issues, so if you didn't receive, the mission failing or the payouts after the mission, which is a big warning here, that you'll need to actually restart your game for things to sync back up. So you might even lose further rewards there, so you should restart your game if you can, although you'll be put back in queue like most of us, or at least be put back in that server capacity lock where you'll have to get through that every 30 seconds, or at least the chance to get through that window. Now my recommendation for that is if you are trying to get in, you haven't been able to play the game, I have just been sitting here and waiting on the server screen, and I usually get in about 20 or 30 minutes or so. So kind of a good thing to do if you have anything to do for the next 20, 30, or 40 minutes. Throw on the game, let it run in the background, and just have it keep retrying and go do something, maybe eat. Eventually you should get in, as I got in last night several times, even after my game crashed and after I had that loading screen bug. Although today, with everything, we have hit a new Steam concurrent peak count, hitting 369,000 players. Now right now that peak has died down a little bit, and I'm guessing that's because of EU times and some other things. Not that it's any farther from that, but we have jumped down just a little bit to 353,000, which is crazy that it started to peak out through the night. We'll have to wait and see how these numbers do carry out through the week. However, I do think they're going to be very strong for quite some time. Another crazy detail here is that Helldivers 2 is now the #1 top-selling game on PSN, even beating Fortnite. So this game is definitely making rounds, and with that 450,000 player cap, yes, it is a bit hard to get in, especially when Steam is accounting for more than half of the player base, closer to around 75%. Now there was also an update on Twitter from the Helldiver devs, which go over some of the stuff with the capacity issues. However, this one was a bit earlier than they disclosed for the 450,000 cap. However, I do still think the information is very relevant, as it will kind of disclose what's going on behind the scenes. So here they have said that despite their best efforts to increase the server capacity to accommodate all of you, they want you to dive in for freedom. We are experiencing capacity issues. Again, to further elaborate, that they're trying to raise that ceiling, but they're having some issues there with the servers. Obviously, they went on here to say that they are trying to fix this issue and without delay. This will be very interesting to see how they handle the situation with the servers, because typically when you buy servers or get servers for your game or whatever it is, typically have to buy them in chunks. So we'll have to see how they actually do that or go about doing that, or who if they're partnered with a certain server. Just kind of like Apex Legends, if you played that game, the server issues are kind of rampant because they signed a 7-year long contract, which locked them in with that specific partner to only use their servers. Hence why the servers are a little rocky with Apex, as I do believe their 24 tick rate. We will have to see what Helldivers does, or if they can at least increase the server capacity there. Hopefully they're not locked down by any contracts, or they can at least go to a third party. As if they are and they can't increase that server capacity, that could be a major issue for the game's future. As if people continuously cannot get in, the refunds will start to pile up there. However, I do think for the next few days, as well as going into next week, we are going to continue to see the numbers increase. So I don't think that's going to fare very bad for the game, as long as it doesn't take more than a couple of days or leading into next week. Now we do have some potential in-game lore or even some Easter eggs, with a little funny one here that says rumors of the Illuminati sightings are work of Dissident. So maybe we start to see a new enemy type, or even enemy types in general. There's actually some really cool lore stuff that people are finding in the Discord, which I will have linked down below. However, that Discord right now is also at full capacity, or at least was was, and I had to wait until 2 or 3 a.m. just to get in, which you might need to do, but they are slowly raising that Discord cap there and pausing invites on occasion, probably with the spike, and they probably are paused again this morning, I would assume, at least because we had a further spike on Steam. However, if you are able to get in, I will leave a link down to the Helldivers Discord down below so that you can participate in all that stuff there. Especially so with the LFG system, as the matchmaking is a little bit rocky right now, and the LFG system is working fairly well over there, or at least the joining of other people's games seems to be faring decently well. However, I had to have to wait like 10 minutes on a load screen before, and one of those led to a kind of crash or hold screen, where essentially I was stuck on that load screen the entire time. Now, this person, Defora on Reddit, has put together this enemy type image that kind of showcases the automaton, as well as the tournament types, which kind of showcase how to take them down and some tips on what the weak points are for each enemy type. This should help out a ton with ammo capacity, as well as kind of the overall playstyle. I'll leave a link down to his post down below, and I'll also showcase the imagery here. Overall, though, I am really enjoying this game. We'll have to wait and see on how all this stuff will kind of play out. I'm going to be covering this game for the foreseeable future, so if you do like my content, I would enjoy it, like, subscribe. But that should cover it for today's video, and until the next one, deuces.